Hi there, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbao. Now, the Confederation of African Football faces a major setback after Ivory Coast pulled out as host of the 2025 Under-20 African Cup of Nations tournament just 4 weeks before the tournament starts. Now, the decision, which was announced by the Ivorian Football Federation earlier today, comes as a shock, with reports indicating that the government cited impossibility of hosting in a letter to the Federation. The exact reasons remain unclear, though speculations point to financial and logistical challenges. Federation President Yassine Idris Diallo, who also chaired the tournament organizing committee, expressed regret but assured that CAF's next step will be communicated soon. With the tournament originally set for April 26 to May 18 of this year, CAF must now urgently find a replacement host to avoid disruption. Ghana, which is part of the qualified teams, is currently preparing for the competition in Morocco, where they've been engaging in a four-nation tournament. Now, joining me all the way from Ivory Coast is my colleague John Boafo for more on this very developing story. John, thank you for making time. Can you help us understand, from what you have picked up, the exact reasons why Ivory Coast has decided to pull out from hosting the tournament with just 4 weeks to go?
Well, and thanks for having me. There are no exact reasons. People don't really know the exact reasons as to why they decided to pull out from hosting this AFCON that was set to start on the 26th of April. And so, like you mentioned before, it's exactly a month to go. And it's unfortunate because everyone here was really looking forward to hosting this under-20s AFCON. The under-20s Ivorian team was actually even played a double confrontation against Liberia last week in Yamoussoukro just to get ready for this tournament. So it really caught a lot of people out of. Everyone was surprised really for the timing of this, and it remained unclear as to what exactly happened and what led the government to instructing the FIF to pull out from being hosts.
I mean, let's just try and appreciate what was required of Ivory Coast in terms of the hosting duties that they had to perform to ensure this competition is carried out. We saw them host the, what do you call it, the AFCON, the men's tournament itself, just about a year ago, and now they were given the responsibility, even bidded for the responsibility to host this one. What was going to be required of them in terms of facilities, at least the legacy of the AFCON tournament, you know, that could be sorted. But what other key challenges do you think has contributed to this latest decision?
So, like I mentioned before, it's really unclear as to what exactly led to them pulling out. But in terms of facilities, they have the facilities. All the stadiums that were used for AFCON last year are still in great shape because they've been used for the local leagues from League One to League Three. So, and they're well taken care of. And it's only been a year and a couple months since AFCON last year. So that wouldn't be the reason for them pulling out. Although it's still unclear as to why exactly they pulled out, there are people who are citing logistical reasons. We're not sure what exactly that means. People are also citing maybe even financial reasons. Maybe the government realized that it wasn't worth the investment that it would take, and in terms of the timing, and also in terms of manpower to ensure that that the tournament runs smoothly. And then lastly, I've also heard reports of the governor not being sure that they wanted to host this AFCON this year because of the elections that are going to happen later on this year. It might be the case that this would come to interrupt because around that time, April, May, is when some of the parties are going to start doing their campaigns to designed to designate a leader to represent the party. So there are different sources and different people are saying different things. But as of now, it's really unclear as to why exactly Ivory Coast has to pull out from being a host. But I'm sure that in the next couple of days, we'll be able to hear clearer, to see clearer and to understand what the reasons were.
I mean, and we want to get clarity on this, referencing the AFCON tournament. Beyond providing venues for the games, what was it that Ivory Coast was going to provide to ensure that the tournament, takes place?
Yeah, so as every host, no, you don't only provide the venues, but you also provide accommodation for the various teams. You also provide accommodation for the organizing committee for CAF and the executives for CAF, and you need to also have enough accommodations for the various people, the influx of spectators that are going to come to watch these matches. And this wouldn't have been a problem. I doubt this would have been a problem because arguably this under-20 AFCON would be a smaller scale than the AFCON that they had last year. So I don't think that would be the main reason. But like I said earlier, it's really unclear as to what exactly is the reason why they pulled out from hosting this upcoming AFCON.
But in terms of preparations, though, are you familiar with anything that has been done prior to this very, decision? Is it the case that nothing has been done and you just realize that, well, they even if they are to start today, it's not going to be possible for them to be ready by April 26th? Or has something already started?
So I would say that there was not really any reason to start anything because it's basically a continuation of what happened last year. So all the venues are ready. They've been well kept. And everything is really ready to be able to host this African Cup of Nations. And you see that Côte d'Ivoire is really the perfect host because even the last international break, you could see the likes of Benin or even South Africa come here to play some of their matches as well. So it's not like the Ivorian Federation is not used to hosting big tournaments, hosting teams, hosting qualifiers. So I think the most plausible thing is more a political or economic reason for them pulling out. But like I said earlier, in the next couple of days, I'm sure we'll have a better understanding as to what exactly happened. Because other than the letter that FIFA, the Ivorian Federation sent to CAF, we don't really have any more information other than that.
But just finally, do you foresee CAF possibly, sanctioning the federation because of this? Do you foresee any sanctions?
I don't see any. I don't foresee any sanctions, but it really will depend on when exactly or what exactly happened. And once we have all the details, once all these details transpire, I think then we'll be able to see whether or not CAF is going to be able to sanction. My understanding, and I saw this online, an article written by Nuhu Adams, is that Egypt is now at the forefront of hosting the AFCON, which starts on the 26th of April. Ideally, it will still be able to be hosted on the 26th of April because this year is a really full year in terms of tournaments for CAF and then also for FIFA as well with the maiden FIFA Club World Cup. So if they don't make it happen on the 26th of April, I don't know when they'll be able to reschedule it. So hopefully Egypt or another host will be able to come forward and this tournament will be able to go forward and we'll be able to also support the under-20 Ghana national team to see them to go far in this tournament.
Well, John, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time. John, as my colleague, is based in Ivory Coast and bringing us the latest relating to the under-20 tournament that is currently in limbo because host nation Ivory Coast have decided to withdraw from taking up that responsibility to the Ghana Football Association now because they've stepped out efforts to curb match day violence with a raft of sanctions against clubs like Heart of Oak, Mina Sharks and officials of Saint-Germain after all these clubs were found guilty of various breaches of the association's regulations. We have more for you in this report.
Division 1 side Elmina Sharks have incurred the wrath of the Ghana Football Association's disciplinary committee following the chaos that marred their match against Radio All Blacks at the Indom Sports Stadium on February 16, 2025. The club has been handed a ban from using their home venue for the remainder of the season after being found guilty of failing to ensure the safety of match officials during their defeat to their rivals. Additionally, the club supporters were found guilty of improper behavior. As part of the sanctions, Elmina Sharks have been fined 20,000 Ghana cedis and warned that any violation of the closed-door sanction will result in a 10-game home match stadium ban. Also, club president Papa Kwesi Indum has been fined 10,000 Ghana cedis and handed a 3-month suspension from all football-related activities for interfering with the match by unlawfully entering the inner perimeter and field of play. Furthermore, player J. Asamoah Kola has been slapped with a 1-year ban from football for attacking the center referee. 5 club officials, including George Redu, Seth Armstrong, Kelvin Abuaje, Joshua Chibaza, and Kingsley Arthur, have also been suspended for the rest of the season and fined 10,000 Ghana cedis each. Elsewhere, Accra Heart of Oak have been also fined 20,000 Ghana cedis, with 10,000 cedis suspended for the remainder of the season after the disciplinary committee found them guilty of compromising matchday security and bringing the game into disrepute. The club allowed unaccredited individuals, specifically supporters, into the safety zone. The incident, which occurred after their victory against Young Apostles at the University of Ghana Stadium, was deemed a breach of the enhanced matchday safety protocols that the club had agreed to enforce to curb hooliganism. Meanwhile, in the latest sanctions related to matchday violence, Saint-Germain FC official Kudus Bashiru has been handed a 1-year ban for his role in the violence that marred their Premier League fixture in Isatre on February 2, 2025. Bashiru, who is a former equipment officer of the club, was found guilty of unlawfully entering the inner perimeter and assaulting Kotoko goalkeeper Mohamed Kamara. Consequently, he is now prohibited from participating in any football-related activities for the duration of the ban.
Now, turn to the Black Stars, and in our latest conversation with Black Stars forward Antoine Semenyo, the Bournemouth star has been sharing with my colleague Lawrence Baidu about his time in the Black Stars so far and the team's determination to qualify for the World Cup, along with his exploits in the English Premier League.
Antoine, it's good having you. You come into this international break on the back of some good performances for Bournemouth. How's it all been for you?
It's been a lot. I think as a team we've enjoyed so much. I think we individually enjoyed as well. This is probably the best season I've ever had as a player. So just thank God for that. I'm fit, strong, healthy, and obviously here in Ghana for international break now. So hopefully I can replicate all those performances for Ghana.
I mean, some years ago you had talked about rejection from some of the heavyweights in the Premier League, but how has it been for you, the transition from the National League through to playing at the top flight?
It's been hard. It's been hard. I've had to adjust somewhat. I think you pick up a lot of things when you're playing in the leagues. You're playing with older players, different experiences, so they're able to teach me, keep me humble, keep me grounded, and slowly push up the leagues. And every league you go up is quicker, better players, stronger players, so you have to be a bit more quicker, you have to be smart in your decisions. So by the time I've got to the Premier League, I've kind of learned the role from National League all the way through up, and the Premier League's the best league in the world. So you have to be quick, you have to be strong, you have to be smart, you have to be clinical. There's so many things that you need to be. So I feel like the first year I signed, it took me a little bit of time to pick up, and obviously second year onwards it's been good. So I've enjoyed that process.
I mean, you want to look at the fact that the Premier League always is top of the table, but then what would you say has been, aside the Premier League, was your best moment throughout this career?
I think when I was at Bristol and I got Player of the Month in January, I can't remember what year it was, but yeah, I just had a crazy month. Loads of goals, loads of assists. Everything I touched, scored. So I would say that was definitely one of my favourite times, for sure.
Let's zoom into national team talks, because 3 years ago, the dreams of playing for the Black Stars for you, I mean, would have been far and not in the picture.
Yeah.
How has it all been for you coming into the national team?
It's been good. It's been good. I think there's been ups and downs. Let's just say that. I feel like I didn't ever write myself off playing for the national team. I knew I always had a chance. I just needed to prove myself. But now that I'm here, I feel like we just need to show as a team that we're good enough. We could be one of the best teams in Africa. So I feel like it's a transition, taking time, making sure that we're all playing together as a team, listening to the manager, and hopefully the results will all fall in place.
I mean, you made your debut somewhere in 2022.
Yeah.
3 years on, and you have 25 appearances to your name.
Yeah.
How would you rate, or would you, I mean, how would you rate your performances for the national team?
I mean, I definitely want more goals, for sure. I think any player that plays in an attacking position wants more goals, but I feel like it's been some decent performances, some not great performances, but I mean, I'm quite humble. I know when I've played well, I know when I've played pretty bad. So I'll just say it's just like a steady slope. It's just been very average, and I feel like I can still give more. So I hope no one's judging me from these 25 games I've played so far. But yeah, there's more to come.
Yeah, talking about no one judging you, as a player, when you go into your room after games and you feel you've had one of those bad days,
yeah,
how do you react?
I don't react, to be honest. I'm very chill. I try to take my attention away from the game, just keep myself busy, whether that's playing PlayStation, doing something with my girlfriend, my brother, whatever it is. So I try to keep my attention away from that, because if I'm thinking about it after the game, I'll just be frustrated. So I try not to think about it too much.
25 appearances. I know your last appearance was somewhere last year, which was quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
You come into the national team, fresh shake-ups in the national team. I mean, how's the new environment to you?
The new environment's been good. It's been good. I think everyone's gelling well. I feel like the last 2 days, everyone's coming close together, so it's nice. And I think everyone's just ready for the game. I feel like we've had a tricky time, and we feel like we just want redemption, we want revenge. So these 2 games coming up are very important. We want to go to the World Cup, so yeah, everyone's taking it really seriously. Everyone's gelling well, and it's been good so far.
I mean, looking back at the last performances or the last results that the Black Stars had,
Yeah.
if you look at the calendar year under Tuado, since returning, 10 games, 2 wins, 4 draws and 4 losses. For you as a player and for the whole team, what is the mood in camp for this international window?
I think we're trying to move on from all those losses and all those draws and those wins. I feel like it's a fresh start now. We want the World Cup, like I said, so we can't be thinking about what's happened a couple of months ago. We need to focus on what we're doing now. So yeah, everyone's approaching it in the right frame of mind. No one's talking about what's happened before. We just have to focus on here and now. And like I said, Friday we'll rectify that as a team, and yeah, it's going to be good.
What is the feeling for you anytime you get the opportunity to know that you are part of the squad selected for the national team?
Yeah, it's an honour. It's an honour. I always want to be part of the national team. I feel like the only thing that will ever stop me is obviously injury, of course, but I always try to make myself available. I always want to play for the nation. It's been a dream of mine from young, so anytime I get called up, it's an honour.
A few shake-ups to the technical team of the Black Stars, obviously, from the one you saw before
Yeah.
the turn of the year. What do you make of these changes that have happened to the national team?
I think it's been good changes. I feel like everyone's getting on together. The cohesion of the group is good. Everyone's warming up to each other, so no one can say a bad thing at the moment, and I think only time will tell. So we'll just have to see what the longevity looks like, but it's been good so far.
I mean, after a poor result or a poor run of form, the next thing you want to talk about is the mentality of the players.
Yeah.
Your group of players are one that are always determined. You've always made it clear.
Yeah.
These games coming up, what kind of mentality are you going in with?
I think the same mentality. I don't think the mentality changes. I feel like everyone wants to win. that's the mentality. Everyone wants to win. So regardless what happens in the game, it might be a mistake and they're going to score. It doesn't mean it's the end of the game. We still got 90 more minutes to rectify that mistake. So for that, everyone's just ready to go. We want to win, and that's the mentality that we have.
I mean, if you look at the World Cup qualifying campaign and look at the table, we are not far off the top. So I mean, we are on the same points.
Yeah, joint
just
top.
goal difference.
Yeah.
How important are these two games? How relevant are they in your chances of qualifying and then playing at the World Cup?
Very important. I feel like every game we've taken very importantly. Yeah, and these two games we want to win. We want to win. We want to be top of the table going into September. So, yeah, we're going to do everything we can to win both games and give ourselves the best chance of qualifying for the World Cup.
There are talks that when players do so well at their club level, when they come to the national team, there's always a desire or the need to see them replicate that kind of form for their national teams. Where do you stand as far as these conversations are concerned?
I mean, every fan is going to have their opinion, and they're valid to have that. But I feel like playing for your club and playing for your country is different things. You got to adapt to a manager, you got to adapt to the players, you got to adapt to surfaces. Everything's a bit different. So I'll just say, just give the players a chance to at least show themselves over a number of games. It's not just one game and you judge. So just be behind us, just support us. Even when we have a bad game, just support us. That's what we ask for.
Well, Antoine Semenyo there indeed had a great game. He scored against Chad and also helped the team in their victory against Madagascar. The Black Stars top of the group now with 4 more games to go to secure a spot in the tournament scheduled for next year. Well, that's all we have for you on Prime Sports tonight with me, Razak Musbao. Tomorrow morning, we'll bring you an exclusive, insightful story on one women's Premier League club based in Accra here, specifically Antieku, Jonina ladies, who are taking the energy from their community as they continue to inspire and make their community proud in the Women's Premier League. My colleague Lawrence Beidou has that special feature and will be airing on the AM show tomorrow. Please do make a date. Well, have a lovely evening.